again, and welcome to the end of day 2 of the lockdown. If you were wondering what I was doing the whole day, it's pretty much this. Well, not this, that. So let's quickly speak about a couple of things. The first thing we're going to speak about today is COVID-19 or coronavirus. Some of the statistics are quite interesting at this point in stage of the game. It shows there's about 645,000 people that has contracted the virus all over the world. Deaths are at 29,000 and recovered are at 139,000. So the US shows a dramatic increase, but again, you have to remember that they do have 360 million people, so it's not really that bad. The whole world's got a good rap on this. I think South Africa is doing very well being self-contained. I think keep to yourself, stay in your house. Okay. The quicker we can beat this, and that is a fact. That is something that everybody can bank on. Now, I want to talk about something interesting. That's all the things that could change in 21 days. That's true. Because a lot of people say that in 7 days you can change a habit. You can change this, you can change that. But that's not really what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is things that we kind of forgot about before the LC, which is lockdown. Right, and I've noticed this on social media quite a lot. Hair. Yeah, that's right. All the girls that have the silver haircut or the blonde that's bottle dyed, or the Colombians or Brazilians or whatever you want to call them or whatnot, and the straighteners and the so on and so forth that you had to do with, that you spend a lot of money on, you all of a sudden start realizing that they forgot to make that appointment on Thursday. And now it's starting to show, slowly but surely. It's creeping out, so that's something to look forward to. Botox and all of these things, Botox and fillers and so on and so forth. So we're going to have a lot of funny faces if people forgot to refill or redo it. All the people that used to go to gym, that is very protein shake, very high density weights, like those really, I push a lot of metal, like I bench press 400 kilograms, and those big guys, I mean, what do? I mean, you can't tell me they bench press the furniture and stuff. I mean, they can't naturally keep it, so they're either going to get really fat or something's going to happen, but that's something to look out for. A cool thing that I did see today was runners actually run around their house, and I think that's pretty hilarious, but it's really cool. There's a guy that I saw that did, according to his Garmin, he did 11 kilometers. He ran around his house like 6 million times or something. It's crazy. Now, to be a bystander watching that, I think is more interesting than the running itself. I think if I was a neighbor, I would enjoy just watching what the hell he does. I do think after 21 days, we're going to have a lot of alcoholics in South Africa. Because if people are bored, they drink, So, yeah. I also think in 9 months we will have a drastic increase in birth rate for no reason at all that it's linked to this. It's just an assessment that I'm making. People that make it through the isolation after the 21 days are solid, and they're like going to be like married for life, because the divorce rate in this country is going to go to the nuts. Because if you're locked inside your room for 25, or inside your house for 21 days with your spouse and you don't really like each other, it's going to be kind of crazy. No place to hide anymore. Let's talk about some cars. Yeah, let's get back to cars, because this is essentially what we do, is we talk about cars, though, isn't it? I do believe that a car is the culmination of the engine, the sound, the feeling, the rev counter, the noise. It's everything. It's if you press the throttle, you hear the engine, you know it's going up, you know the repetitions, you know the revs, you can feel the vibrations, and all of that actually makes a good car. I test drove a Tesla. This is before I did reviews or everything, but I test drove a Tesla, and that was actually, it was amazing. I have to say, it was really amazing, but it lacks a car. It's not a car. I don't see it as a car. I don't see any electrical vehicle as a car. I see it as a transport unit, if you understand what I mean. Like a car is a feeling you get, you know. Like I remember the first car I had, like whenever we used to drive it, the noise, the this, the that, the rush that you get if it goes wow, and shifting gears and trying to shift quicker and whatnot. It's just amazing things, throwing the weight around. So the moment it's not the same thing to drift an electric car, if you understand what I mean. Like it'll never be the same. It'll just not. Now, apparently, Moody's has determined us to be on junk status, and everybody was aware of the recession that we're in. Now, what does this mean for our cars? Now, this is actually quite interesting because there's a lot of topics around coronavirus in terms of the production of vehicles all across the world. Now, if you look at the manufacturing of vehicles, due to the coronavirus, there's a lot of places on lockdowns, a lot of places that close up shop because factories are labor intensive. Now, the interesting thing about that is that obviously means that given about 3 or 4 months, most of the world's kind of gotten to either terms with it or whatever happens. But the long and the short of it is next year, we might have a decline. We definitely will have a decline in brand new cars available, which means the prices of new cars will actually be more expensive because they'll be rarer. That also means there'll be an influx in second-hand car prices because this will be taking over majority of the trade weight. Now, this is a very interesting to do because South Africa especially suffer because of the blue book value and the this and that. Now, a lot of people say it's because of import taxes, but import tax is like 25% plus a little bit. It's not nearly close to 50. The majority of it goes towards the fact that in a population of about 57 million people, we have 1.4 million people that can buy an expensive cars, and we've got about 4 to 5 million people that can just trade cars. We have a massive wealth gap, and we only sell about 440,000 plus minus cars a year. If you're looking at the new car market, whenever a new model comes in, it has to be shipped into South Africa. It's not about taxes. Think of it as a large macro, right? Where you buy stuff in bulk. So if the US has to import Mercedes-Benzes because if they buy more, and if you buy more, you get it for cheaper. So a stupid example, we went to the Chicago Auto Show. I think I did mention this once, but a Mercedes in the Chicago Auto Show, and this is talking about a 63 GLE with the whole kit and caboodle, was like $75,000. That's nothing compared to about 3 million rand in South Africa. And that's not just the import taxes. That's the fact that we don't have enough people to import these cars to sell them once again. Also, we do really miss out on new cars because technically the new car market should be one where you order your car towards your specification. That is where it's amazing. What we're stuck with in terms of new cars is the company itself orders a bunch of cars that they pre-set up themselves. They think this is what people need, this is what people would want, and it's not according to your specification. The second-hand car market and all the car markets that we have, we can actually start to regulate. If we start trading less second-hand cars, which is about 75% of the trade in South Africa, we can actually start creating a decline in the price of cars because the second-hand cars that they have in stock, have you ever driven past those big companies with their big warehouses and their names on the side and you know it's full of cars? If nobody buys those, they just depreciate in the book, which means the long and short of it is the longer we wait, the cheaper those cars become, which is an absolute fantastic thing. So don't necessarily all just rush off to buy cars all at once. Blue book value thing is really just ruining us because currently, I mean, the blue book is anywhere between 10 to like 50% less than your actual retail value. And that's actually because of the financing aspect behind things. So because of the so let's say, for example, car X is worth 100,000 rand. Then you go to your depreciation factor. So the second year when you sell it, they say 75,000 bucks or minus depreciation, etc., etc. We're not going to do the math right now, but the whole point is, let's say for argument's sake, retail on second hand is 50,000 rand. All right, you financed 100,000 rand. The retail second hand price is market related. So now all of a sudden, where the other guy loses 25,000 Rand because it was worth 75,000 Rand to 50,000 Rand, you're losing half. Now your financing that you took, it was probably over 5 years or 6 years, which means there's a scale and the chart has three sides, and the three sides of this chart is basically what you owe versus time versus interest and settlement and depreciation of the vehicle. And there's a point where that is perfect. Now that point of perfection is usually about 5 years financing with no balloon payments or anything extra. Currently, our trade-in rate is still 3 years, but that's going to also change because a lot of people are taking balloon payments. A lot of people are extending their financing to about 6 years, which means a lot of people are just starting to lose out. So all of a sudden, people are over-invested. They're driving a second-hand Prado for at least $100,000 more than what it's worth because they had to load the vehicle because of the financing options, because of this, because of that. You can inbox us, and this is the phone number as well. You can inbox us on this little number right here, and you can say please help, and then we will more than welcome to help you out and see if we can calculate that for you. We've got a lot of extra people. We got 21 days, so a lot of people that we can help at this point stage. But yeah, but that's our show for tonight, and I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. There's quite a few. I'm very glad to see the numbers grow. It's pretty awesome. I really appreciate that. I think the last one got about 480 views, so that's pretty cool. Keep sharing, keep sending it to everyone. Thank you for that. So my little joke, which is very stupid, but I love it, is why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Because otherwise it'll be a chicken sedan. Yeah, very silly. Anyway, my name is Tom, and have a wonderful day, and please follow us and